Nashe Sarva Amangala. He has composed Caitanya Mangal. Just hearing this book removes all the misfortune. भागवते यत भक्ति सिद्धांते रसार लिखिया छेन इहा जानी करिया उधार. So in Caitanya Mangal, Vrindavan Das Thakur has given the essence of devotional service by quoting the statements, authoritative statements from Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mangala Shune Yadi Pashandi Yavana Seha Mahavaishnava Hayatadakshana. Even if a Pashandi, even if an atheist hears Chaitanya Mangal, he immediately becomes a devotee. Why? Manushe Rachite Nare Aiche Grantha Dhanya Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Vakta Shri Chaitanya. Because the subject is so sublime and it appears as if Caitanya Mahaprabhu has personally spoken through the writings of Vrindavan Das Thakur. That is the power of Caitanya Bhagavata. It appears that Caitanya Mahaprabhu has personally spoken. Vrindavan Dasa Pade Koti Namaskara Aiche Grantha Kori Teho Tarila Samsara. So what he has done? What has been told? I offer Koti Koti Pranam. This whole translation is done by Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. He says, I offer my Koti Koti Pranam to Vrindavan Das Thakur. Who is he? He is incarnation of Vyasadeva. He is not an ordinary personality. He is incarnation of Vyasadeva. And upon whose order am I trying to chew the remnants of food that he has left? So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, he has chewed, and those remnants I'm trying to eat. Bhakti Kori Shire Dhari Tahara Charana Shesha Leelala Supragana Kariya Varna. So placing his lotus feet upon my head in great devotion, Shire Dhari, I shall now describe Caitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So now, then they said, Narayani Chaitanyera Uchishta Bhajana Tahara Garbhe Janmile Shri Dasa Vrindavan. So now here they said, who is Vrindavan Das Thakur? Who is Vrindavan Das Thakur? He is Narayani's son. And who is Narayani? She is Srivas Thakur's niece. And she used to take the remnants of Caitanya Mahaprabhu when she used to be very small. And Narayani eternally ate the remnants of the food of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur was born in her womb. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is none other than the remnants of the food of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why it is said, remnants of spiritual master is so powerful. Now, Caitanya Mahaprabhu used to go to Srivas Thakur's house, and Narayani used to take his remnants. She was very small at that time, and she used to take the Uchishta of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Just by taking the Uchishta of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, she delivered a wonderful son, and that son is Vrindavan Das Thakur. Chandra ki adbhuta Chaitanya Charita Varnana Yahara Shravane Shuddha Kaila Tribhuvana. Said, what the description has been given, beautiful description has been given of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyone who hears this is purified. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur, Vrindavan Das Kaila Chaitanya Mangala, Tahate Chaitanya Leela Varanila Sakala. So what he has done? He has written Chaitanya Mangal, and he has described all the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So first what he did, Sutra Kari Sabalila Karila Granthana Pache Vistariya Tahara Kaila Vivarana. First he summarized all the pastimes. And then he one by one, he started describing the pastimes. Vistara Dekhiya Kichu Shankocha Haila Mana Sutra Dhrata Koda Lila Na Kaila Varnan. When he saw this is becoming a very extensive work, then what he did was he left some without properly describing it. Nityananda Leela Varnani Haila Avesha, Chaitanyera Shesha Leela Rahila Avashesha. So he ecstatically described the pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu. But then later pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained untold. So post-sannyas pastimes are not so much vividly described. Pre-sannyas pastimes are very vividly described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavana Dasera Pada Padma Kori Dhyana Kandra Agyalana Likhi Yahate Kalyana. Says, I took permission from Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur by praying at his lotus feet. Upon receiving his order, I have attempted to write this auspicious scripture. So it is said, very beautifully it has been told, that I am taking the permission. Without taking the permission of Acharya, it is impossible to write, to even translate the work. So I have attempted to write this auspicious scripture. Then, now Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is the authorized writer on the pastimes of Chaitanya. Without his mercy, therefore, one cannot describe his pastimes. So from Adi Leela, 11th chapter, we are just doing the synopsis now, the introduction. Vrindavan Dasa Narayanira Nandana Chaitanya Mangala Yehokarila Rachana. Vrindavan Das Thakur is the son of Srimati Narayani, and he composed Chaitanya Mangal. Bhagavate Krishna Leela Kvarnila Veda Vyasa Chaitanya Leela Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa. He has described the pastimes of Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam to Vyasadeva. Same Vyasadeva in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Vrindavan Das Thakur. So if somebody asks who is Vrindavan Das Thakur, immediately one should answer, he is Vyasadeva who described the pastimes of Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is said there is an ancient village called Mamagachi. It is located in the Purvasthali subdivision, that is on the eastern side of Burdwan district, Mamagachi. This village Mamagachi is the area of Navadvipa known as Modramadupa Dvipa. There are 9 Dvipa, out of which Modagruma Dvipa is very important. Mamagachi is located there. Ganga flows on the side of Mamagachi. Vrindavan Das Thakur's worshipable deities, Sri Sri Gaurnitai, are worshipped in this village even today, Mamagachi. It is said Vrindavan Das Thakur was born in this village. Even today also we can find Vrindavan Das Thakur's house where he grew up. It is said wife of the father of Malini Devi, Srivas Thakur's wife. Srivas Thakur's wife's father, that is Malini Devi's father, he lived in Mamagachi. It's Malini Devi's father. He lived in Mamagachi. Srivas Pandit, the beloved devotee of Lord Gauranga, had a niece named Narayani Devi, who was married in this village. Malini Devi lived out her final days in this village at her father's house. Narayani Devi was married to a member of this family. That is why she is connected to Srivas Pandit as niece. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was born from the womb of Narayani. Since Vrindavan Das Thakur lost his father early in childhood, and his father left his body without being engaged in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, topics about his father are not mentioned anywhere. And it is said, some people say, father did not take the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is not identified from his paternal dynasty. He is called as Narayani's son because mother is a devotee. That is why from his mother's side, why mother is a devotee? Because she took the remnants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She was completely dedicated for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and she was connected to Srivas Thakur. She was married in the family of Malin Devi. Like Arjuna is known as Kaunteya. Arjuna is identified by his mother. So in the olden days, it used to happen that the son used to be identified by the mother because the mother's quality automatically is imbibed in the son. It is said father's quality is imbibed in the daughter. Father is a devotee, then the daughter has to be a devotee. Mother is a devotee, then the son has to be a devotee. And here father did not take the shelter of Hari completely. That is why Vrindavan Das Thakur was identified as Narayani's son. And Vrindavan Das Thakur, he spent a lot of time at Denduda. Vrindavan Das Thakur's married life has never been heard of. So those things are not, and still it has not been heard. He had very important 4 disciples, Ramahari, in this way. The description is given about Ramahari. That he was a pure devotee, duly initiated. And in this way, is considered as the foremost disciple of Vrindavan Das Thakur. And also much information about his father's side has not been given. He appeared in the Brahmin family of Radhadesh. That is, that father is a Brahmin. Vrindavan Das Thakur is known through his relation among the Vaishnavas and the Gaudiya literature. And then, so Vrindavan Das Thakur, the son of Narayani, had great knowledge of devotional scriptures and was always engaged in preaching the glories of Vaishnavacharyas with his Manasa Vacha Karmana. Mind, body, and speech. It is said, the Smartas, they were very envious of these Vaishnavas. And they were very, very envious of Nityananda Prabhu. So they disrespected Vrindavan Das Thakur because Vrindavan Das Thakur was servant of Nityananda Prabhu. And they did not give him a very high position. They were very inimical, very envious. And they refrained him from in this way, but they were not correcting him in anything. They were refraining his family background also. It so happened when before Gaur Sundar left Navdeep, Narayani Devi, the mother of Vrindavan Das Thakur, was only 4 years child. Up to that time, she had been nourished by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's affectionate glances. After that, she lived with her husband in the house of Malini's father. That is the time she got a very jewel-like son, that is Vrindavan Das Thakur. Up to his 10th year, she used to grow him very nicely. So it is said, Vrindavan Das Thakur was not considered a Brahmin. But he was born to be a Brahmin, but he was not considered as a Brahmin by the Smartas, envious people. But actually, he was a topmost Brahmana. But he did not subordinate to this Smarta community. Those who have studied Caitanya Bhagavata composed by this great soul known as Caitanya Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, it is said, was the topmost preacher of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy. So whoever is preaching, whoever is hearing They are considered to be the topmost. Yet when Radharaman, the son of Madhusudan, the son of Balaram, the son of Advaita Prabhu, lived in Shantipur and desired to oppose the teachings of Advaita Prabhu, he accepted. That is another story. Let us take this important aspects of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Vrindavan Das Thakur was writing the truth in Caitanya Bhagavata. Those who study Caitanya Bhagavata with full attention, they can never be misguided from the truth, the tattvas. And if somebody is misguided, then they are destroying, and in this way they're destroying their human opportunity. But whoever is studying Chaitanya Bhagavat with complete attention, full attention, will destroy all illusion. Now, descriptions about the activities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in different places, like Adi Leela, what has been spoken, Madhya Leela, and Anta Leela has been presented. So Nityananda Kripa Patra Vrindavana Dasa Chaitanya Leelaya Teho Hayana Adityasa. His favorite, Vrindavan Das Thakur, is Lord Nityananda's favorite devotee. He is original Vyasadeva and describing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. तांड्र आगे यद्यपि सब लीलार भांडार तथापि अल्प वर्णीय छाड़ी लेना आर. He has a full storehouse. Lilara Bhandara. Bhandara means he is the storehouse of Chaitanya's pastimes. But still, he has kept some portion aside. He has not elaborately described some of the pastimes. ये किछो वर्णिलोन सेह संक्षेप करिया लिखिते न पारे न तबो राखिया छे न लिखिया. So it is not that when it is said that he has left some of the pastimes, but he has given a synopsis. It's not that he has left. It means that he has not elaborately described. Chaitanya Mangale Teho Likiya Che Sthane Sthane Sei Vachala Shuna Sei Parama Parama Pramane. In this book, Chaitanya Mangal, he has described these pastimes in many places. I request my readers to hear that book, for that is the best evidence. Who is writing this? The Siddhanta Saraswati, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying. Please read this book. And when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati writes, he says Akinchana. Akinchana Sri Siddhanta Saraswati. He says Sanshepe Kahilu Vistara Nayaya Kathane Vistariya Vedavyasa Kariba Varnane. I have described the pastimes very briefly, for it is impossible for me to describe them in full. In the future, however, Vedavyasa will describe them elaborately. Chaitanya Mangale Iha Likhiya Che Sthane Sthane Satya Kahena Age Vyasa Kariba Varnane. So in Chaitanya Mangal, Vrindavan Das Thakur has stated in many places the truth, the factual truth, that in the future, Vyasadeva will describe them elaborately. Now, who is saying this? Vrindavan Das Thakur, who himself is Vyasadeva, he says in future it will be described. Chaitanya Lilamrita Sindhu Dugdapti Samana Krishnanu Rupa Jhari Bhari Teho Kaila Pana. So, who is that future Vyasadeva? Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. He has described those pastimes which has not been elaborately described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. So he is also Amsha of Vyasadeva. The ocean of nectarian pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like the ocean of milk, Dugdhapti. According to his thirst, Vrindavan Das Thakur filled his pitcher and drank that ocean. So Chaitanya Lilamrita is like a Sindhu. Is Amrita also Sindhu also, nectar also, ocean also. And to the extent he is thirsty, Vrindavan Das Thakur is filling his pot. Lord is Ananta, Lord's Leelas are Ananta. To the extent somebody is taking their pot, like Vyasadeva is taking his pot, to the extent he can fill up the pot, he is trying to fill it up. But that is not limiting the pastimes of Lord. Like when you stand under the waterfall, to the extent you can catch the waterfall, somebody tries to catch with the hands, palms. Somebody is taking one balti and trying to take the water. To the extent a person has a holding capacity, to that extent he can relish that waterfall. The same way, to the extent a person's consciousness is there, so that consciousness becomes the filling pot. To the extent, that picture, to the extent a person can hold or can hold according to his consciousness, the pastimes are revealed to that person. So that is why Krishna's Leelas are Ananta. It is not that when the pure devotee Vyasadeva is writing, he is restricting the Leelas of Krishna, it is Ananta. There are many more to describe. It is said Adishesha, he says, my hoods are not enough. Thousands and thousands of hoods are there. These unlimited hoods are also not enough to describe the unlimited mercy and limited pastimes of Krishna. Tandra jhari sheshamrita kichumora dila prateka bharila peta Krishna mora gela. So now Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, whatever remnants of milk Vrindavan Das Thakur has given me, that is sufficient to fill my belly. Now my thirst is completely satiated. So I have received the mercy of Vrindavan Das Thakur. That is why, taking the mercy of Vrindavan Das Thakur, I am describing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Gaudiya Bhashya introduction has been given. In summary, I'll try to tell tomorrow what is the introduction of Gaudiya Bhashya which has been given. There is a 4-word in this book, and then the chapter 1 starts. First, the summary of Chaitanya's pastimes has been given. This is what has been described. First, the summary is given, and then the chapter 1 starts. Then slowly, every Leela is described. So here we'll stop. Any doubts you can ask. Because we should know about Vrindavan Das Thakur, that is why we taken. Now tomorrow we will try to do the summary of introduction to the Gaudiya Bhashya. What is Gaudiya Bhashya? The commentary on the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mate.
Who has this book, Caitanya Bhagavata, in this group?
So I was about to ask that what are the reference book you are actually referring today?
I'm owning my video now. This is the book.
Yes.
This is Caitanya Bhagavata, Adhikadma.
Okay.
Like how you have Chaitanya, Chaitamrita, like that this is the book. This is part 1. Like this we have practically 8 to 9 books.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
So who has this book? Sachdev Prabhu, do you have? Satyabhama Mataji, do you have? Okay.
No,
Manjari,
no Mataji, don't have the book. Hare Krishna.
Mataji has the book.
I also don't have.
Yeah, I have
Manjari,
the book.
It's a 7 volume.
yeah, Manjari has the book.
It's a 7
So,
volume. 7
yeah,
volume
it's a
book.
7-volume book. Yeah. So sometimes I may not be able to take the class. Then Manjari can continue with this book. Is it okay? Is it okay? Because the verses and all, because Chaitamrit we could put in the screen.
Yeah, I can put
I
it
have
on the
it
screen.
online. Mataji, I have it online here.
Prabhu,
Okay.
Mataji, yesterday Chaitanya Prabhuji sent a PDF.
If you have online, then there is no
Yeah,
problem. Then
with
even
Bengali
Satyabhama
verses,
can take the
everything
class.
is there, Mataji. Yeah.
If it is there, then wonderful. Then everybody can take the opportunity. So sometimes I may not be available. Then you can continue the classes. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Doubts you have? Any doubts? No one has any doubts now? It is very auspicious day today. And we have started this Caitanya Bhagavata. I had a lot of desire. And when the day will come, I was holding this book for a long time. Sometimes it's to refer. But even I wanted to study it systematically. So this is a fortune for us that we are all going to. It is a bathe. The sadhakas can bathe in the river, but your devotees and those who are like Paramahamsas, they swim in the river. This is an ocean, it's not even a river, it's an ocean. So let us first bathe in the ocean and then think of swimming in the ocean. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna